So I made a video talking about the cost of having a baby in the US versus the UK, and some of the comments brought up a really good question, which is the fact that under a universal healthcare system, obviously you're paying with your taxes. So how much are you actually paying for healthcare in the UK? So as to not waste your time, I'll just tell you up front, you're paying way more for healthcare in the US. But I'm going to break down some numbers for you to give you an idea. By the way, just a random fact for any Americans watching before we continue, you actually can get private health insurance and private healthcare in the UK. You have the option of using the NHS, which is the universal healthcare system, or using private care. You do not have that option in the US, but most people in the UK just use the NHS. So back to costs. So at the moment, the average income in the UK is between 37 and 38,000 British pounds. So I'm going to round it up to 38,000 pounds. I made a silly mistake here, so we're actually going to base it off making 35,600 a year. So it took a bit for me to figure out the numbers, but it appears that you pay about 20% of your total tax in the UK towards the NHS. If somebody out there has better information on that, please let me know. But with that said, according to the internet, I'd be paying a total of about £7,120 in tax, which means that 20% of that would be £1,424. And if you divide 1,424 by 12, you get just over £118. Obviously, this number will go up or down depending on whether or not you have a lower or higher income. But that gives you an idea of how much you are paying monthly for healthcare in the UK if it was set up like the US. Now let's compare that to the United States. According to the internet, the average monthly cost for a personal healthcare premium in the United States is $477 a month. And bear in mind that this won't cover everything. Usually there's deductibles and different things like that you have to pay, similar to car insurance. For example, under my health insurance that I used to have in the US, I had to pay $50 every time I visited the doctor. The rest the insurance company covered. The average health insurance plan for a family in the US is $1,700 a month. So altogether, yes, you are paying way more for health coverage in the US. Having a universal healthcare system would be the best way forward for the United States.